Hello to all my friends out there. Hi, you guys. Hi. Well, dinner time. Okay, I'm making some instant potatoes, so let's see. Okay. I have some butter, 1 cup, I'm using all milk, 1 cup milk, and a tablespoon of butter, and a little salt. So what I had in my my freezer was some of this, I bought this stuff really cheap at grocery outlet, and it's frozen, so I just cut a little piece off. So that's the milk and the butter and the salt. And so I'm trying to use as many potatoes as I can because you know, this is a lot of potatoes. How many is this? This is 103 servings. But I don't know, sometimes I eat fresh potatoes, so I have had this for a while. I bought this, oh, it's good until May 24th, so it needs to be used. It's not going to go bad, but, you know. Okay, so I need 2/3 cup. Potatoes is something you want to stockpile as soon as you possibly can. Let me stir this up. Sometimes they go really gluey. Instant potatoes can be really good if you make them good. Okay, these are looking pretty good. Okay, so I bought a lot of these chicken sandwiches. I bought chicken sandwiches, and I bought bacon cheeseburgers. These are really good. They're about 6 for $12. So I want to toast the bun because I want to make like a I want to make like a diner meal tonight out of this. See, that was only 1/3 cup. I had powdered milk, and I made 3 cups. I usually mix up 4 cups, but I have some milk in there. Okay, so now look how tasty my potatoes look. And then I couldn't find any chicken gravy, but I found this country gravy, so that's the gravy. And then I have a little whisk. These things are handy. Let me get my universal lid. Okay, so now, here is the milk I bought for $1.99. That was a deal. Okay, now, have you guys heard of this inflation fear? Now, people are becoming fearful of inflation. And what is causing this? Well, what is causing this is the price of groceries is alarming. And I can really see that if you didn't have any stockpiled food. And what they mention is when people go to the grocery store, you know, they just don't get as many groceries for $100. So imagine if you have a $200 grocery bill and you go to the grocery store and, you know, your money is not going as far. So this video is really okay. Can scrimping and saving keep you out of the red, or is prepping the solution? Well, the answer, if you watch my channel, is prepping is the answer. Okay, I will give you an example of something. I think this thing will take about a minute. Let's see. Scrimping and saving does work. My son and I were talking today. I was telling him, okay, I have been scrimping and saving on the electricity and the utilities, and my bill has gone from 500 to 200. And he was telling me his wife did the same thing, and their bill was the same. It was just, you know, don't use the, you know, like spare every little lumen, be really cheap. And as we were talking, he goes, I gotta go because he got a flat tire. So here we have two savings of 250, and then we have a flat tire, and there it goes. And even if you're doing the Dave Ramsey and you get a flat tire, then you just like press the undo button on all your scrimping and saving. Of course, it might be the difference between 750 and 500. So, all right, my bun is looking good. So I want to make this like an old-fashioned, these buns are good. So this is the old-fashioned food. If any of you are old enough, you will remember this. And what this really is diner food. Everything is hot. So I'm going to go over some diner food in a minute. So you have the potatoes in your stockpile. You have the hamburger or the chicken sandwich in your stockpile, your freezer. I didn't buy these on sale. I bought them last month. And we have a tasty chicken patty. These chicken patties are good. And I have some corn, a little bowl. And then, you know, I have this country gravy. So that is awesome. So I think these chicken sandwiches, this could be French fries. That would be good. But I wanted to use my mashed potatoes. So this is the old-fashioned way. If chicken gravy would have been good, but I couldn't find any. So you barely have enough money for groceries, and you get a flat tire. That is a little bit anxiety producing. All right, so the corn will be ready. So scrimping and saving does work to a certain extent, but not as good as stockpiling. Okay, you can end up in the red. Even if you're saving, then you're minus the tire money. Nothing can be done about that. Okay, now I have some tea. So this is a very cheap meal. I mean very cheap. Well, say about $2 or $3. All right, so I won't be starving. The buns are good. The buns are really good. Okay. So reduce the utilities by 50% and got a flat tire. Okay, today I had a not fun day, and what I was doing is working on my garden, and I want to talk to you about this is another thing. Sounds good. So, if you would like to see my garden, go to Rotostone X. So what happened is I planted one garden, something ate most of it. So then I went in and I planted another garden, That one came up. I saw nibbling, so I put the plants in containers, and they're in my windowsill. I might put it on the thumbnail. We'll see. It's so important to grow food if something happens, especially if you're older. Okay, I mentioned to you that the Pilgrims, when the Pilgrims came to America, here we go. First of all, the Pilgrims had a hard journey. So say something happens. Say it's like the U country and the G country. And so they had a hard time. They got scurvy on the way over, many of them. Pneumonia from lack of shelter, cold and wet in cold weather. And they weren't good at agriculture. And there were chronic food shortages because of bad weather. Okay, part of the problem I had was it still was cold. It's starting to warm up now. So, okay, so I dug it up, and that's in my windowsill. And when that grows, I have a greenhouse, but I've got to put it together. And so I will have a year-round garden in my backyard, in my windowsill, and on my balcony. And I will show you. Now, I went to the mountain by my house and I got dirt. And then I grew the garden out of my seeds. Let me show you if I can get one out of here without. This was the most awful day, and I want to show you this. Look at this. You guys, this is the potatoes. These were little eyes in the potatoes, and I just planted the whole thing in the garden, and I thought I'll dig those up too. And there's a tomato plant in there. So basically I was learning the hard way, but that's how you learn. Sometimes it's going to be good, sometimes that will be awesome. I mean, even if I don't know how many potatoes will result, but we'll see. So we want to learn how to garden. If I lived in China, trust me, my house would be like a jungle. Okay, and we have to store food if we know it's good for us. Okay, so I mentioned to you I'm going through every little expense, and I'm trying to reduce my expenses 30% because I am convinced that the inflation rate is 30%. So I came up with this way of reducing my petty cash by 30%. So yes, so on one day of the week I spend $0, and that was yesterday. And then on day 2, 3, and 4, I have $20, but I remove $1, so I have $2 extra at the end of the week. And so I have $19 for 3 days. So today I didn't spend any money. So tomorrow I have $20 for 2 days. So here is my chicken. Another thing is if you buy the chicken this way, you have bread. You could take this bread and you could make a peanut butter sandwich. Okay, so, and then day 5, 6, and 7, I have $20 more. So if I was to go for the next, it'd only be 5 days. By the next week, no, it'd be 6 days, I would have $60 as opposed to 20, unless I need something. So, okay, so that's what I call a penny pincher, plus reserving $2. Okay, now I want to talk about chicken sandwiches. Okay, if you get the free chicken sandwich at McDonald's, a lot of times I will buy a homeless person a chicken. Oh, and we have 10,000 new homeless in San Diego. They came down here because we're having the Olympics, and so they got to clean up the city. It's very dangerous for them. But when I buy them a free chicken sandwich, I ask for extra lettuce and tomato and I asked for some salt and pepper and some salad dressing, and usually they don't charge me, but if they do, it's only a few dollars. And then the person has a little sandwich with a salad. So we go back to a sandwich with a small fruit or a small vegetable, and I try to buy them a large Coke. Or I could buy that for myself. Okay, today I had leftovers, chili and rice. I had one little smoky left, so I was kind of light on the the protein, and I had about a cup of milk, so I had some chocolate milk. Okay, so now this is like diner food. Diner food or bowling alley food. We used to go out to eat. I was determined my son was going to learn to bowl when he was a little kid, because my ex-husband used to bowl and I was no good at it. So let me see. We have chili mac or goulash, which is basically like chili mac, hot chicken sandwich or hot roast beef sandwich, meatloaf, omelet, onion rings. Okay, if you slice your onions like in rings and you mix up your pancake mix and you dip your onion rings and fry them in oil, that is going to give you some good onion rings at home. Biscuits and gravy, club sandwich, pancakes, and milkshakes. I remember some of the first YouTube videos I did had milkshakes. So here is how I reduce my petty cash, in case I didn't explain it good. So I'm just being a penny pincher. Okay, so now, now the UK is telling the population to disaster prepare for 3 days, water, food, and batteries. So I'm light on water and batteries. Okay, inflation fear is grocery fear, and the greedy merchants are gouging the public. I think we all know that. So now I want to show you a little what I'm doing. One of the awful things that I was doing today, and it was kind of like housework but worse, is I'm going through everything I own. I'm going through all the food storage. And if you guys have been following me, you may remember that some months ago I did big boxes of food, and it was a month, and I think I had about 5 of them, and they're all gone now. So when you start eating the food, it goes down fast. But I thought this time I want to stockpile a week or a month. So I did, it was a month meat and something else. So today I did a little box of, this would be for a week. So it fits in a nice, neat little box. I see this, boom, I know I have a week's food in my food storage. And I'm going to be going to the food pantry because I thought if I knew anyone with my income, I would tell them to go to the food pantry. Okay, so let's start out with 1 canned beans. So what I decided to do is start buying these big cans. So this is beans and ham, but this is also soup, but it's beans, because the chili I made last night was really good, and it was 2 giant meals. That's why I'm not starving tonight. And then 1 can of soup. So I mentioned to you guys that I found tomato soup. I'm trying to show you guys because I have followers, overseas followers. And my plants are growing pretty good, so hopefully nothing's going to happen to them. Okay, 1 package of pasta. So I picked this. I'm probably going to make this week. Tuna casserole. So that's the pasta. Canned meat. So for the canned meat, I picked tuna to go with the tuna helper. And so that's meat, 1 can meat and 1 can fish. So for the meat, I took this out of my stockpile. This is ground pork. And so I could make some, what I like to do with this kind of stuff is make noodles with pork. I don't know. I'm going to make something with that maybe this week. Canned meals. So I picked 2 canned meals, and the one I picked was chicken a la king because I could make it exactly like this diner meal. It would be some bread, the chicken a la king, and a vegetable. And then I picked macaroni and cheese because if you have tuna, you can put that in your macaroni and cheese, or you can put hot dogs or Spam or whatever you have. A sandwich, okay, I put 1 deviled ham for a sandwich. And then I had chips, so I took the chips out so I could have a deviled ham sandwich with some chips. So we had beans, soup, pasta, canned meat and fish, canned meals, and sandwich and chips, and then fruit. So for me, I think the best fruit is fruit cocktail and peaches, so I put that out. And then for vegetables, I took out mixed vegetables, and I had some tomatoes, okra, and corn. So those are like mixed vegetables as well. And then, so fruit and vegetables. And then for milk, I have 1 evaporated and 1 shelf-stable milk. That is a little light on the milk, but if you have powdered milk as well, that helps. This, I'm down to my last can of evaporated milk. So now I also, not only do I have a big bag of potatoes, but also oatmeal. And then I have some crackers to go with the soup. And then for the meat, I took out these Vienna sausages. So if you have some eggs, or if you have some top ramen, that's what I really use those for. And then I took out a Jiffy cake mix and a can of cherry pie filling, because on the side of this box it is the Fruit Magic. 1 package Jiffy yellow cake mix, 1 can pie filling, 1/2 cup nuts, 1/4 cup margarine or butter. Preheat oven to 350. Select your favorite pie filling and spread onto an ungreased 8-inch square pan. Combine cake mix and nuts. Nuts are optional. Cut in margarine or butter until crumbly. So you're gonna cut that into your cake mix, and then sprinkle over the pie filling. So you can make a nice dump cake this week. And then I had some loose tea. So the idea is to have some food, so you're not going to have grocery anxiety, because you can buy some cheap food to get by. Like if you get a flat tire or something, or if you buy little by little, then you have it in your house and you can just have a cheap diner meal. One of those meals that I told you. Or some tuna. I used to have tuna casserole once a week. Tuna casserole and spaghetti and tacos and meatloaf. I always forget my meals somehow. I didn't forget them when I was eating them all the time. Hot dogs. Okay, but mainly you want cans in your food storage. Let me give you a shot of the food storage. That's the most important. Once you start getting good, if you go through your food storage and group them by weeks, you can see how many weeks, how many months, and you start growing food. So the reason I was doing the housework is I'm getting ready for summer. So I got the yards done, which was awful. And so that was good. Okay, I want to mention something. Okay, there's this thing now. It's called Quiet Salon. So when you call up, you can request no talking during your hair appointment. So your stylist is going to be able to give you a better style if they get to know you a little bit. But people don't want to talk, and this has happened since the COVID. I'd say they want to be on their devices, or like at the gym, they all have headphones, and people just don't want to talk. So now why? Well, I have a theory on this, and I think I'm right on this. People are tuning into the spiritual realm. Okay, we're humans, but there's also spirits. You know, I think some of us know that. And then also people are into the virtual world. So they're sitting there quietly, but you don't know what's going on in their crazy heads. But if you talk to a person for a few minutes, you can get a sense. And I'm telling you, what I will try to mention some of the stuff that I see where people are tuning into the virtual or spiritual world. Art, music, movies, cults, makeup, fashion, nature is a big one. Witchcraft, spiritualism, occultism, and manifesting. Those are just to name a few. So now we see this shift into our culture, and it wasn't so much when it was all, everybody was kind of, you know, going to the Christian churches. And so we are seeing that, and also we're seeing things going on that would be totally unthinkable a few years ago. And also we're seeing some of these leaders just disappear. Like one was shot, one crashed in a plane crash, and I heard, but I don't know if it's true, that the military tribunal has been on their trail for a while, like on underground bases and tracking them. I mean, basically the entire planet is surveilled. So you might be thinking, you're a conspiracy theorist. Okay, we'll see. Just wait and see who else gets killed or disappears next, or supposedly dies. I'm just praying to God President Biden can last. Okay, you guys, I will see you tomorrow. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And God bless you all. I'm not saying scrimping is not a good idea. It is a good idea.